Your to-do list isn't helping you. It's quietly sabotaging you. I know that sounds insane. You were taught that lists equal control. Write it down, check it off, win the day. But here's the truth nobody tells you. The act of writing a task down can trick your brain into feeling like you already did it. Yeah. Read that again. Your brain doesn't fully separate planned it from did it. And that one glitch might be the reason you've got 40 open tabs of good intentions and almost nothing finished. Let's talk about why. Think about your list right now. Be honest. How many items have been sitting there for over a week? Start the side project. Reply to that email. Go to the gym. They just live there. Not crossed off. Not deleted. Just existing. Silently judging you every time you open the app. And here's the part that actually hurts. You probably felt productive just writing that list. You opened your Notes app, typed out 12 tasks, color-coded a few of them, maybe even felt a little hit of satisfaction. Then you closed the app and did nothing. Sound familiar? You're not lazy. You're not broken. You just got played by your own brain. And once you see how, you can't unsee it. So let's get into the science, because this is where it gets wild. First mechanism, dopamine. Everyone talks about dopamine like it's only about pleasure, but really it's about anticipation. Your brain releases dopamine when you expect a reward, not just when you get one. So when you write, "Finish the report" on your list, your brain treats that almost like a tiny promise of completion. You get a small hit of relief and satisfaction just from the planning. But here's the weird part. That hit is real, even though the task isn't done. Your nervous system can't fully tell the difference between "I planned this" and "I did this." So the more satisfying your list-making ritual feels, the less urgency your brain has to actually execute. You basically tricked yourself into feeling finished before you started. Second mechanism, decision fatigue. Every single task on that list is a tiny decision waiting to happen. Which one first? How long will it take? Do I have energy for this? Multiply that by 15 items and your brain is already exhausted before you've lifted a finger. Decision fatigue isn't about being weak-willed. It's neurological. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning and self-control, has limited fuel each day. Every choice burns a little of it. A messy, overloaded to-do list isn't a map. It's a maze. And your brain, sensing the maze, does something predictable. It avoids. That's not laziness. That's self-preservation dressed up as procrastination. Third mechanism, and this one's the most dangerous, flow state disruption. Flow is that locked-in zone where time disappears and you're just working, deeply, effortlessly almost. But flow needs one specific condition to happen, a single clear target. Your to-do list, with its 12 competing priorities, is the enemy of flow. Every time you glance at it mid-task, your brain quietly asks, "Should I be doing something else right now?" That tiny mental flicker breaks your focus before you even notice it happening. You don't even realize you've been interrupted. You just feel scattered, tired, unfocused, and you blame yourself for not having discipline when really your environment was never built for depth in the first place. But here's where it gets even deeper. Because the real problem isn't the list itself, it's what the list represents. Most people don't use to-do lists to organize tasks. They use them to manage anxiety. Think about it. You write things down not because you forgot them, but because they're stressing you out and you need them out of your head. The list becomes an anxiety container, not a productivity tool. And here's the myth that needs to die. More items on your list does not equal more control. It equals more noise. Every unchecked task becomes what psychologists call an open loop. Your brain hates open loops. It keeps pinging you about them in the background, draining mental energy even when you're not actively thinking about the task. So that to-do list you made to feel calm, it's actually running 12 background programs of low-grade stress all day, every day. That's the hidden layer. You're not procrastinating because you're undisciplined. You're shutting down because your brain is overloaded with unresolved threats disguised as bullet points. And this is where the consequences start bleeding into the rest of your life. Because when you experience this enough times, something worse than procrastination develops. You start losing trust in yourself. Every uncompleted task is a tiny broken promise to you made by you. And your subconscious keeps score. After enough broken promises, your inner voice shifts from "I'll get to it" to "I never finish anything anyway." That's not a productivity problem anymore. That's an identity problem. It bleeds into your work, where you start avoiding ambitious projects because deep down you doubt your follow-through. It bleeds into your discipline, because discipline is built on self-trust, and self-trust is exactly what a chronically unfinished list destroys. It bleeds into your confidence, because you start defining yourself by your incomplete list instead of your actual capability. And eventually, it bleeds into your future. Because the version of you that could have built the business, written the book, gotten in shape, that version keeps getting quietly postponed, not from a lack of ability, from death by 1,000 unchecked boxes. That's the real cost. Not wasted time, wasted identity. Okay, so how do you actually fix this? Let's get specific. Solution 1. Cut your list to 3 tasks a day, not 10, not 15. 3. This isn't motivational fluff, it's neurological math. 3 tasks reduce decision fatigue dramatically and create a finishable target your brain can actually commit to. If you only do 3 things today, make sure they're the right 3. Solution 2. Separate planning from doing. Do all your list making at night for tomorrow. Never plan and execute in the same moment. Why? Because mixing planning and doing forces constant decision-making mid-task, which is exactly what kills flow. Plan once. Execute without thinking. Solution 3. Close every open loop physically before starting deep work. That means literally closing tabs, putting your phone in another room, and writing down anything floating in your head onto paper, even if it's not on today's list. This isn't about the list anymore. It's about silencing the background noise so your brain can finally drop into flow. Do these 3 things for 1 week, just 1 week, and notice what happens to your follow-through. So here's the truth most productivity content won't tell you. You were never lazy. You were drowning in a system that rewarded planning over doing and quietly punished you for it every single day. The to-do list isn't evil. But the way you've been using it has been working against your own brain this entire time. The twist is this. Productivity was never about doing more. It was always about doing less, with more intention. So, here's my question for you. Drop it in the comments. What's one task that's been sitting on your list for way too long, the one you keep avoiding without knowing why? I read every single comment, and honestly, I want to know what your brain's been hiding from you. If this video shifted something for you, subscribe. Because next time, we're going deeper into the psychology of why your brain sabotages your own goals, even when you genuinely want to succeed. See you in the next one.